It's been 16 years since I watched this film, and to be honest, I don't know why it took me so long to watch this film. Today we're going to be talking about Independence Day. Happy 4th of July, Americans. Happy Independence Day if you celebrate it here in America. Otherwise, Happy Independence Day from the aliens. Back in 1996, when this movie came out, Independence Day was about aliens coming to Earth. And the first time I watched this, I was about 5 or 6. Probably not a movie a 5 or 6-year-old should be watching, now that I think about it. It did give me nightmares at one point. If you haven't seen the film, let me give you a quick synopsis of the film. On July 2nd, a massive spaceship comes to Earth and deploys a bunch of smaller but huge spaceships to go to different cities. And we can't figure out their intentions until David, played by the GOAT, Jeff Goldblum, finds a code in our satellites that is slowly going down to extinction. Kind of fitting for their intentions. But David figures out that they're set up strategically over big cities, cities that have power. For example, there's New York, DC, LA. I don't know what LA has to do it, but there was one in Paris, one in Moscow, etc., etc. And they're all strategically setting up, and this code is ticking like a countdown, and once the countdown reaches 0, and the aliens attack, causing us to fight back. Now, I love this film, but this film does have one small issue, if you think about it. When you watch it, it's not hard to process. So we're going to get into spoilers now, and for some reason, if you haven't seen a 25-year-old film, pause the video, go watch Independence Day, and then come back. I'll be here when you're done. But for those of you that have seen it, let's talk about the computer virus. If you sit and think about the ending of the film, which also the whole resolve hinges on this one point, is that the only way to stop the aliens, because they're so advanced technologically to the point where they have deflector shields, and I will call them deflector shields because that's what they are, and I'm a nerd. But their deflector shields are so powerful that we can't actually hit the ships or even their small fighters. So the solution is we get Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum up to the mothership in the ship from the Roswell incident, and Jeff Goldblum uploads a computer virus to the ship, taking down all the deflector shields. And then they bust a cap in their ass with a nuke. But if you think about the context of this, it was basically the movie saying, even though at the time Apple and Microsoft weren't even compatible, and even today you can't put a PlayStation game in an Xbox and vice versa, but a human laptop can connect to an advanced alien spacecraft, upload a virus, computer virus, just down it. But you're able to forgive that, don't get me wrong, because this is how. The movie gets you so invested into the characters right away. You get so invested to the point where when the First Lady got injured, I was really hoping for her to pull through, because I haven't seen this in 15 years for me. And then when she dies from her injuries, it almost caused me to shed a tear when the president's daughter grabs his hand and then they both start mourning for the loss of his wife and her mom. The introduction to the aliens is also executed greatly. The first shot we see is the ship engulfing the moon in a shadow, and its presence shakes the moon, erasing the first astronaut's footsteps, almost symbolically saying that the furthest we've gotten, human wise, not rocket and all that wise, the furthest we've gotten is nothing compared to what has arrived. And also how they impose the aliens as this giant threat. We never see the full size of the mothership until the third act. We only get clues to how big the mothership is from just seeing parts of it engulfing the moon in a shadow, it dwarfing our own satellites, to being that big in comparison to the ship, to just the ships that come to the planet that enter our atmosphere, all coming out of the one ship. And speaking of those ships, the entrance of the aliens into our atmosphere is beautiful. The fact that they're burning up as they're entering, causing smoke and fire in the sky, is eerie and beautiful at the same time, which is what everyone in the movie was feeling because they had no idea what the intentions were. I will say that even with the weird computer virus thing that the whole third act hinges on for their plan to work is weird, like I said, but you can forgive it because you get so invested with the characters like Captain Hiller, David's father, David's ex-wife, Captain Hiller's wife and girlfriend, then wife and stepson, the president, his daughter, all the characters. You get invested in them, you want them to win. You also get drawn in with the aliens and that, with their interesting design. The whole story arc is kind of cool, and the fact that it spans over 3 days. So I'd say if you ever see Independence Day either on TV or in Best Buy or Walmart, pick it up, turn on that channel, watch it. It's a great film, even with its flaws. And for me, the only flaw was the whole sequence of the computer virus being able to take out alien spaceships. But have you guys seen Independence Day? What did you think of the film? Let me know in the comment section below. Happy Independence Day. This is going to be a weird Independence Day for Americans with the pandemic and all that. There might not even be fireworks where I am. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed. And yes, this was supposed to be my Jeff Goldblum look from the film.